and JJ.
Hit it!
It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Glad you're along for the ride. Let me clear my throat here, Carline. I don't know what you got. I got an 8-4 ball club, Carline.
They look good.
8-4 team.
3 seed.
3 seed. I'm just telling you right now, that was a good day. Had a trip to Nashville. Welcome to the program, everybody. Glad we're here. Everybody had a good Thanksgiving. How was Ocala? How was Greater Ocala? Good?
Fantastic.
Yeah. How'd you do in the run?
Literally nothing's changed.
Did you win the turkey trot, buddy?
I was first place.
Okay,
no, I did
okay.
not win. It wasn't my best time.
Okay.
But I wasn't giving my all. It
Yeah.
was like,
You got to pace yourself.
it was like
not young anymore.
when your team, when you think you're like going to the playoff, but you're in the Pop-Tart Bowl, so you're like, I'll do like half and
Yeah.
I'll stop playing at halftime.
You know
That's
what?
really what I did.
I
So
will think of you, when I think of runners, I'll think of you as the Pop-Tart
I'm the
Bowl,
Pop-Tart Bowl of runners.
of running.
I wouldn't know what it's like to go to a bowl.
Well, and I wouldn't know what it's like to run. So,
Yeah.
so you got to combine all that in together. All right, got a lot of things to talk about today. Obviously, the Kiffin saga ended. John Sumrall being announced as we speak. We'll get to all of that coming up in just a bit. In fact, we're going to do that at 4:15. All of our thoughts. Hayes is going to weigh in on. We'll let Hayes kick it off with Hammer Time at about 4:15, and he'll give you his thoughts. I'll give you mine, because that is the big story. Obviously, around here today is Kiffin to LSU, John Sumrall to Florida. I will tell you, not just thoughts on it, but the journey. Because I told you this. I was on the phone a lot trying to figure that out. So we'll take you through the journey, where it landed, and how we feel about where it landed. All that coming up in a bit. So John Sumrall to Florida, Lane Kiffin to LSU. A lot of other coaches that landed their spots. So we'll get to that coming up. So that'll be at 4:15. But I'm going to start. And by the way, God bless you, FSU. That's as close as I've watched FSU's football team in a long time. Florida's terrible. FSU's like way worse.
Yeah.
And give y'all credit. Y'all both, I think, I'm the dummy that picked FSU to win. But
Luckily, they're getting rid of their coach, right?
Yeah.
He's not coming
would have
back.
to.
And let me be clear.
No matter the cost.
And let me be clear. I'm not trolling the Noles. My team's not good enough to troll anybody.
Well,
but,
good enough to troll FSU.
Yeah, actually,
I mean, we have evidence of that.
But I mean, watching that game up close, I mean, how bad must Wake Forest and good? Anyway, I mean,
Yeah.
did y'all?
I was surprised it was
how bad
as
must
easy.
Yeah.
Alabama be?
Well, good
Yeah.
point. But I mean, were you? Yeah.
I was surprised it was that. I thought Florida would win a very close game that came down to the wire.
Yeah, I picked FSU to win the same kind of game.
I was shocked Florida scored 40.
Yeah.
I mean, and the ease with which Jaden Ball's he's a good player.
Yeah.
But the ease with which he ran through tackles in that game, and he's a good player.
Right, but we talked about this last week. Like, I wasn't convinced that the motivation to qualify for a bowl game was going to resonate with Florida State's locker room.
You hit that.
I mean, they may just want to get out of there. I mean, if you tell them that,
and that's what it looked
that's
like.
how they played.
It
I mean,
is,
they had no interest in tackling.
Yeah, you hit that. But anyway, so we'll get to that. But I want to start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I was in Nashville for 4 days. I told you this on the rundown today. The beauty of that game, the convincing win, is it was not a big deal. I was as impressed with who the Jags were in this game because of the non-big dealness of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There was, when a good team is good and they show up, and all those years when the Patriots would show up and beat the Jets 28-7, it wasn't a big deal. They come into freaking Met whatever stadium and they'd win 28-7 and Brady'd be okay and they'd fumble, or they could have won by more, and they'll miss a field goal and win 28-7. That's what this was. It was remember now, the Titans put 24 on the Seattle Seahawks the week before and lost 30-24. So they were getting better. The whole time in Nashville, walking around Broadway, Jaguar gear on a lot. Well, you guys are good. You guys are going to put one on us. And I'm like, I still haven't heard that a lot in my 12 years, of pregame conversations, And we went there, and Taylor Zarza and I are really good buddies, the play-by-play voice, and 25-3. I'm not sure it was that close. And then afterwards, Taylor goes, "Whew, what a difference between those two teams." And I just thought to myself, that's the story of the day. I know it's only one game. I know they're 1-10. And it's the worst team in the league. I get it. But when you're a good team, you show up, you take care of business. There's no storyline. There's no fanfare. Just go beat them 25-3 and get on the plane. I have a hunch that's who these Jags have become. And it really excites me how unexciting the game was, as crazy as that sounds. That's what I think.
I agree. The toughness is not usually something that sizzles. So the Jaguars don't sizzle when you watch them. But when you look into their heart as a team, it's incredibly impressive because of how tough they are and how mentally tough they are. I mean, you lose your long snapper in the first half, a defensive tackle who hasn't taken long snapping since training camp and hasn't done it in a game since high school, comes in and does a very nice and admirable job doing it. That is mental toughness. You look at what LaQuint Allen has become on this team, forcing a fumble on kick cover that turns a 7-3 game into a 15-3 game. I mean, they just are tough. I mean, they didn't run the ball well yesterday when you look at the numbers, but it felt like it was effective because they're just a tough team. And defensively, the Titans had 70 yards on their first drive, a lot of that coming on the ground, which was stunning since they're last in the NFL in run offense and the Jaguars are number 1 in the NFL in run defense. But they made the adjustments they had to make or just woke up, and Tennessee only finished with 188 yards. So 118 yards after your first drive, that's domination. I mean, that's getting dominated. And again, it's not a lot of wow plays. They're just tough. Liam Cohen, Anthony Campanile, Heath Farwell, the rest of the staff, the locker room, the guys they've brought in, the guys that they inherited that I think have adopted it. I mean, I'll say this. I think even Brian Thomas Jr. played tough yesterday.
He did.
The numbers weren't great.
But he blocked.
But he's blocking 50 yards down the field, and good block.
Yes,
Not oh, by the way, I got to do this or I'm going to get chewed out in film. He pancakes the guy.
I agree.
Inside the 10. So that is a really strong sign of and look, that's what winning in the tournament comes down to is a lot of times the tougher team.
And maybe that is we decide who they are, as they discover who they are. Maybe by osmosis, it's making its way to the players who that's not necessarily who they were. To your point about Brian Thomas Jr. Well, now Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington are that guy. Brenton Strange, although he's a tight end, is that guy. Maybe that's how you have to play to be that guy. And all of a sudden, because what Brian Thomas Jr. does do is he gives them a burst that the other ones don't have. Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington are good players, but they're not burst guys. He gives you a little bit of a burst. But see, now you know who. Now you know who's got to play the roles. This was a great movie script, but we didn't know what actors to put where. Well, now you know. It's not De'Ami Brown and Travis Hunter, wish he was healthy, and Brian Thomas. It's Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange. You now know the offensive line configuration, even though they keep getting hurt, so they keep moving them around. But you now know the batch of 7 or 8 guys that can all do it.
How about the mental toughness of Cole Van Landt?
He's done everything. And give him credit because he probably wasn't at his best against Arizona. Bounced back, never missed a beat, and is playing all over the place, to your point. Wyatt Milam had to come in there and play. So, and what Hayes is talking about is he had to go play left tackle against a pretty good line.
After starting at right guard.
Correct.
After playing right tackle the week before.
That's right. So, but now you know who they are. You know who they are defensively. You know who's playing what spots. You know these young defensive backs. I mean, Greg Newsome plays some, but I'm not sure he's better than Christian Braswell. I'm not sure he's better than Jerry. At one point, I thought their best configuration was Jarian Jones and Monteric Brown outside and Jordan Lewis inside. I thought that might be their best grouping right now. So you're deciding and developing and learning who they are, and the quarterback's playing better. I told you this on the rundown. Quarterbacks, there's 2 chapters of that book. Number 1, to the quarterbacks who become great quarterbacks. Number 1, can you make the great play? Do you have the big enough arm? Can you run fast enough? Are you accurate enough? Do you throw a good enough ball? Can you make the big play? Number 2, can you eliminate the bad plays? Now, when you do both, you're Tom Brady or Mahomes or whoever, right? There's not many that regularly do both. Trevor had the first part. He was trending toward the first part. Made a lot of big plays. He just couldn't get rid of the bad plays. Now, he had some games where he did no good plays and bad plays. Arizona, I thought, was interesting because it was both. That's the game. He turned it over 4 times, 4 bad turnovers. Also threw 3 touchdown passes, 2 beautiful touchdown passes. Made some plays with the run, and then led him for the winning score. I see it evolving. He was good the other day now. He was good Sunday. So he's your guy. He can make all the throws. If he starts eliminating the bad, he gets the first part of the book down. I just thought it was a terrific win for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll talk more about that all week. And about a gigantic game coming up on Sunday. Just a gigantic regular season game coming up on Sunday.
Biggest game they've played here in 3 years, and one of the biggest games they've played here in a decade.
That's correct. Both of those are correct. So I mean, I hope you already have your tickets. Be planning on getting that to the ball yard on Sunday. They need you. We need you. The sport needs you, man. It's going to be a big day here when the Jags and the Colts get together, both 8-4, vying for winner is in first place and sole possession of first place, and well positioned because it's late in the year. So we'll certainly talk about that coming up. So a lot of Jags talk, but I always want to start the show with a great Jags win. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll unpack all of it. Lane Kiffin to LSU. John Sumrall to Florida. His introductory press conference is going on right now. I think Kiffin's is too, or certainly right around now. How did it all play out? How do you feel about the fact that it played out the way it does? Hayes will weigh in. I'll weigh in. That's our next segment. The Kiffin story finally came to an end. So did all the coaching openings. We'll talk about it after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The holidays are kicking off early at Nimnicht Chevrolet. Right now, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0% on models including Silverado, Equinox, and Trailblazer during the Red Tag sales event. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnicht Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck or SUV at Nimnicht. Remember, Nimnicht will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about our demo models for deeper discounts. Plus, the biggest sale of the year is coming, Nimnicht's bigger than ever Black Friday event. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So shop online 24/7 at nimnichtchevy.com or visit that terrific car dealership right there at the corner of Park and Cassin. Now's the time to head to Nimnicht. Who's got more new vehicles at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnicht. Head to Nimnicht today.
Sometimes it's an offensive show.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sometimes it's a show of offensive discipline.
There are no words.
Listen for the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Win or lose, nothing's off limits for us.
Picking a Prosser on the live Swamp Sessions podcast right after every Gator football game.
We'll bring out insight, analysis, and Gator passion.
Live stream from Voodoo Brewing Company.
On the 1010XL social channels.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World, simply the best for less. And thank you for your business.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Hacker here, and I recently celebrated a birthday with friends and family, and a lot of photos were taken. And you go on Facebook and you look, and you have those memories of years past on the same day. And I saw pictures of myself from 2 years ago. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. That's back when I was over 300 pounds. I mean, I was in a bad spot in life with my weight. And now here we are, my birthday in 2025, down over 100 pounds, keeping the weight off. I look like a completely different human being. I can't tell you how many times I'm told that pretty much on a daily basis by people who haven't seen me in quite some time. Go to awaken180weightloss.com, awaken180weightloss.com. I'm living proof. If you want to drop the weight, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your answer. 844-346-1800.
The wait is over. Sunday, December 7th, your Jacksonville Jaguars return to Everbank Stadium for a massive division showdown against the Indianapolis Colts. This is more than just a game. It's a statement. Touchdown, Jacksonville! The Jags are back home and ready to turn up the heat in their iconic Prowler throwbacks. Kickoff is 1 p.m., so pack the bank and make it loud. Secure your seats now at Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Scott Strickland's Sistine Chapel of failure is now complete. Scott Strickland, the Michelangelo of failure as a college athletic director, who we now have seen in what will be his final act as athletic director. It doesn't do any good to fire him now. The die is cast. Hopefully John Sumrall will be good. I'll be pulling for John Sumrall. But this was a colossal failure by Scott Strickland on every level possible. Lane Kiffin wanted the Florida job. Lane Kiffin has dreamed about the Florida job for 15 years. How this didn't get done is entirely on Scott Strickland and his insistence, his moronic insistence, that Kiffin work with a GM that Scott Strickland chose. Who in the world would do that? Who in the world would think that that is a good idea? And so you lose Lane Kiffin. And you hire a guy in John Sumrall with no real qualifications. I mean, okay, he won at Troy and he won at Tulane. You did exactly what you couldn't do. You went back to the same well that brought you Billy Napier. And yeah, John Sumrall may not be Billy Napier. They may have totally different personalities. They may have totally different coaching styles, and I hope John Sumrall is an absolute home run. And it won't matter. Scott, either he'll fail, which is what I think will happen, and Scott Strickland will be fired, or he'll be great and Scott Strickland will ride off into the sunset whenever he chooses to retire. So this isn't a fire Scott Strickland. He's the athletic director at Florida. Doesn't do you any good to get rid of him now. The die is cast on Scott Strickland. But this was a colossal failure. They could have gone and gotten pretty much, I mean, I'll take Alex Golish. I take John Gruden. I would have taken Schulman at Georgia. At least then maybe you're hurting Kirby Smart. To go get a defensive-minded head coach who has never been a head coach at a prominent level of football was gross negligence. Gross negligence. The fact that Lincoln Riley, who wanted the job when they hired Napier, would have taken the job now. And you hire John Sumrall? When Lincoln Riley, who's coached 3 Heisman Trophy winners and won 3 Big 12 titles, is looking to get out of USC, and that's not good enough for you? Let's go hire a guy that lost to Billy Napier in the Gasparilla Bowl? I just think stunning incompetence. I feel bad for Florida fans. I am one. I do not have high expectations for where this will go. I hope I'm wrong. I hope John Sumrall is great. But Lane Kiffin should be the Florida coach today. And he isn't the Florida coach today, not because of anything LSU did. LSU is a mess. LSU is dysfunctional. But LSU has an edge to them. Their leadership has an edge, and they're going to do what it takes to win. Scott Strickland doesn't do that. He doesn't have that edge. That edge doesn't exist in Scott Strickland. He wants comfort. He wants a good guy, and he's going to prioritize that over winning. Well, look at the record between John Sumrall and Lane Kiffin in 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years, and 10 years. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But my guess is Lane Kiffin is going to lap what John Sumrall does at Florida. Lane Kiffin should be the Florida coach. You'll never convince me that anyone other than Scott Strickland totally botched it.
All right, I'm gonna weigh in on all of that. By the way, I don't agree with all that, but I love the passion with how you said it. So let me tell you what I think. First of all, and I would encourage you. Hayes knows this. I made a lot of calls during all that. There was so many. I got too connected to too many people. There's stuff I couldn't say. But I'll say what I can now. I'm not ever going to say I knew it was coming because I didn't. Nobody knew. I didn't know any more than anybody else did, but I certainly tried to find that out. I would encourage you, if you haven't yet, to go read John Talty's story on CBS. Have you read it?
Yes.
Have you read it, JJ? John Talty's story?
No, I haven't.
It is, from everything I was told on every front, Hayes, it is accurate on every front. Now, there's a few things it left out, but it is as accurate on every front of why Lane Kiffin is the LSU coach and not the Florida coach. And not the Ole Miss coach. And why is the LSU coach? In a nutshell, but I would encourage you to go read it. It's on CBSSports.com. John Talty wrote it. Here's essentially what happened, and I'll give you my whole take on all of it. When the job's open, Lane Kiffin is who Florida pursued. Scott Strickland, others at Florida of significance pursued him. They had the first meeting with him. It was the Thursday after the Florida-Georgia game. That was the first meeting with Lane Kiffin, was the Thursday after. It was clear that's who they wanted. The sticking point that we had all heard and that Talty wrote about was that Strickland wanted to build a system with an NFL-type GM and a coach, and they would not necessarily be aligned. I shouldn't say that. They would not. The GM would not report to Kiffin. I want to say it the right way. So that was what was going to happen. He was not going to do it. Kiffin was put off by that. After that, Strickland acquiesced and said, if that's he halted the GM interviews. He made the decision that if that's what you want to do, then we'll do it that way. You can build it the way you've built it then. Here's where the rub came. I'm not sure Kiffin bought it. That's where the rub came. Is Kiffin thought, this is a guy who wants to manage it this way. I want to manage it totally differently. The bottom line was this. Whether you agree or not, Kiffin wanted the run of the place. Kiffin wanted everything reporting to him. He wanted very few checks and balances. He wanted very few rules. He wanted it here, which is back in the day the way it always was. You are the boss. You are head of the football program. We'll stay out of your way other than raise money for you. That's what Kiffin wanted. And he got the sense, even though Scott acquiesced, that that's not what this guy is. That this guy's kind of buttoned up and organized, and I don't want buttoned up and organized. Keith Carter wasn't buttoned up and organized. I want leave me alone. That's where it ended. That's where, and Talty wrote that, and I had heard the same thing. I can tell you, I know people that Kiffin texted that said, I'm not sure the guy wants me, talking about Strickland. And I can tell you the people that responded to him said that's not true because they're Florida people. And he said, well, just felt that way after the conversation. So then, after the conversation continued, Florida kept trying to reach out. Kiffin didn't respond. The Kiffin camp didn't respond. Sexton, whoever, did not respond. So they didn't know where they were with him. I can tell you that all happened. So Kiffin then meets with LSU. LSU figures out Scott Woodward is like Strickland and like most ADs. He's going to be buttoned up and organized and checks and balances. They give the job to the former football player, Verge Osbury. You know what Verge says? Just come coach our team. We don't care about rules, and I shouldn't say that. I mean, we don't care about the checks and balances. We're not worried about a GM. Just come do what you've been doing. We'll give you all the money in the world. We'll give you run of the place. Just come do what you've been doing. So Kiffin hears that and thinks, no matter how much Scott is trying to acquiesce, that's not who he is. That's not who Scott Woodward would have been. But that's who this guy's going to be. These guys want me so badly, they're going to get the hell out of the way and let me do whatever I want. And that was a big part of it. The other big part was the two trips to Gainesville and to Baton Rouge really happened. It was Layla Kiffin, Lane's ex-wife, and Angela Kiffin, Chris Kiffin's wife. Chris and Angela have 4 kids. Lane and Layla together, even though they're not together now, had 3 kids. That's 7 kids. 3 of them are high school football players. Knox and 2 of Chris's boys. And they looked at the high school programs in Gainesville. The truth is they looked at Buchholz, the number 1 team in the state. They got a sophomore quarterback coming back who's the coach's son. He wasn't playing quarterback there. I can tell you, nobody knows about it. I can tell you now, they looked at boarding at Bowles. They considered that, but Bowles has young quarterbacks. And the atmosphere of football in Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama and Georgia is just different than high school football here. It just feels different. You ever go to a Valdosta game? You ever go to a South Georgia game? It feels like a little college game. Just go watch the videos of Lane's kid playing. Look at the big screens. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, or the turf fields. All of that mattered. I can tell you, and people in Gainesville don't want to hear this, but the families came back and said, we like the neighborhoods and the schools better in Baton Rouge than we did in Gainesville. So all of that added up. So at the end of the day, that's why he chose LSU. That's why he chose it, is because more freedom in the athletic department. Sexton was trying to push him there because he thinks it's a better job, meaning, i.e., I can get him more money. And so that's what happened. So for me, I don't fault Strickland as much as you do. That's who Scott is. He is a guy that is more organized, more buttoned up. Now, in the back, did he not really want Lane? That I don't know, Hayes. You know what I mean? But I do know, I talked to enough people, not just Scott. I didn't talk to Scott at all during any of this. But I talked to enough people that are involved in it. Florida pursued Kiffin, but Kiffin saw coming, in his opinion, he saw coming what he didn't want. Checks, balances, rules, GM, this. The same thing Scott Woodward would have had. And Verge Osbury's going to say, hey, I'm staying out of – Ole Miss stayed out of his way. You do what you need to do. We'll just raise the money for you. And that's why he went to LSU. So that to me is why Lane Kiffin is now at LSU and not at Ole Miss or anywhere else. Now, I think I would have preferred Kiffin. Like every other Florida fan, I couldn't wait to see what Kiffin would do here. That was my choice. After that choice was made, what surprised me, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go long here, so just indulge me here, JJ. But on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I talked to someone of significance that's involved in all this. Okay, I can just tell you. And was told then they knew it was over with Kiffin. He wasn't returning their calls. He wasn't going to come. Even some of the higher ups, not just Strickland, had said, listen, at some point, they gotta respect us too here now. Okay, some point, we're going to go to some point and then turn the page. And right about then is when they turned the page. That is when I was told, okay, Frank, I hope you're sitting down. They're focused on a defensive-minded guy. I came and told you that. I came and told Hayes that before the show. I said, they're looking at a defensive-minded guy. That floored me because my mind, you know where my mind was, Lincoln Riley and Jed Fish and Drinkwitz and Dillingham, all these offensive guys. That's all in play. They're looking at these, they're considered a defensive guy. So when that happened on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, you know where my mind went? Freeman, Clark Lee, Sumrall. I mean, so later that day, if you listened to last Tuesday's show, before we came on, I heard it looks like Sumrall's the target. I told you that. So we kind of threw it out there. JJ, I don't even know if you remember that, but we kind of threw it out on the first segment Tuesday. How would you feel if it was a guy like John Sumrall? And so I didn't know that it was going to be, and I certainly didn't know it was going to be him then. But certainly we had heard. Then you had heard, no, he is leaning more to Auburn, that he's from Huntsville. His wife is an Auburn grad, and that Florida's going to have to go to third choice because choice number 2 is going to pick Auburn. And I heard that on Tuesday afternoon, and you and I had this talk kind of. So Wednesday, I get a call. Someone says, not so fast. Sumrall's still in it. He's probably more intrigued with everything Florida is than everything Auburn is. That was on Wednesday. I said, okay. So meanwhile, the booster people, a lot of people from Florida still said it's Kiffin. Remember that? All over the messages. I'm thinking, I don't know who it is. I'd love to tell you I had no idea. Well, I still thought Kiffin might be in play because people are everywhere. The Florida narrative was Kiffin still in play. The national narrative is he was going to LSU. So we go into the Thanksgiving holiday. I have no idea. Everything I told you has all happened, but I'd be lying if I said I knew where it was headed. I didn't know. None of us knew. And I kept thinking maybe it's still Kiffin. Maybe it's still Kiffin. Maybe. But you hear this. Not until, was it Friday, that Florida came out and kind of leaked it to their beat writers that Kiffin's no longer a candidate. It was Friday, right? Mm-hmm. So only then did any of us know that. And at that point only, I said, I'll bet they're going to try and I'll bet it, because you'd heard this defensive guy. I'll bet it's Sumrall. So I think, so in my mind, that's the journey we all took together on all of this. So in my mind, I think that Strickland tried to get Kiffin. I really believe that. I think Florida went all in on Kiffin. But I think he sensed that it wouldn't be the job he wanted. That makes sense? I think he sensed it wouldn't be the job that he wanted. I think he sensed LSU, I'm getting out of the way and letting you do whatever you want to do, bro. Would be the job he wanted. I think that's why, I got more to say about Sumrall and whatnot, but I think that's why Kiffin's the coach at LSU and John Sumrall's the coach at Florida.
Yeah, and it's a disgraceful performance by Scott Strickland as an athletic director. I mean, if you're producing a movie and you want Steven Spielberg to direct it, you don't tell Steven Spielberg, but I demand that you shoot the movie in Orlando, Florida. No, you're going to let Spielberg shoot the movie wherever he wants to shoot the movie. You're not going to put any sort of, but you need to keep it within the scope of this, Steven. And that's
but I think
what
he
Florida...
did. But I think he did, Hayes. And I think Kiffin just didn't buy. You know what I mean?
Why would you buy
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Scott Strickland doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to football. He's proven that. He's a terrible athletic director in terms of having any vision for the football program at all. I'm half convinced that the only reason he found Todd Golden is he was going to go hire the UC Santa Barbara coach and made a left instead of a right and bumped into Todd Golden.
But he did find a national championship coach.
And I'm saying, in all seriousness, he just doesn't understand how to have an edge to the football program. LSU understands that. And again, even if it's not Kiffin, it is stupefying as it is that Scott Strickland would blow that deal. Then go get Lincoln Riley. Go get get Alex Golish. He won in the swamp this year. He's an offensive mind. He plays up tempo. Give John Gruden a chance. He's an excellent football coach. He's never coached in college, but he's an excellent football coach. Why you would go get a defensive-minded coach from Tulane, who, by the way, it's great that John Sumrall won at Tulane. They were rolling when he got there. Yeah, he basically just kept it on the tracks at Tulane.
That is
at Troy, he legitimately built something, and when he left, Troy struggled again.
All right, we're going to break here, but I'm going to stay on it. But your point's fair. Willie Fritz, who's a really good coach, had built Tulane before John got there. That's a very fair point. When we come back, I'm going to tell you what I think they're going to do on offense. I'm going to throw out about 5 or 6 names that I think he's considering for offensive coordinator, and my guess it's going to be one of those names. I'll do it after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Gators have found their next head coach of the football program, John Sumrall, who was previously the head coach at Tulane, where he reached the American Athletic Conference title game in each of his 4 seasons. The 43-year-old brings a young, energetic spark to the program, branded in toughness, as he played linebacker at the University of Kentucky.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell and Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident, and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell and Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served up by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Frank Frangie for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember when the Jaguars upset the Denver Broncos in the 1996 divisional round as a 14-point underdog and launched them into the AFC Championship? Well, you know who won't upset you? The team at Coil Fencing. Coil is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project, Coil does it all. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's COILE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You like winning? This is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Lane Kiffin and I have been going through the same thing, and we've talked a lot. We were both in agreement that I was the right man for this job. All right, so he co-signed on that. Lane's a dear friend, and I have to poke a little fun at him. The standard here is championships. That's why I came. I'm built for this job. I was made for this job. Winners win. I'm a winner. We're gonna win.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, those are the comments of John Sumrall today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my thoughts on him in just a second. I will tell you, we do thank our friends at the Best Bet. Guys, so much fun stuff going on. The $100 satellites into the $30,000 guaranteed 300 kicking off tomorrow at 2 o'clock is at Best Bet Orange Park. Satellites happen Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We appreciate all our friends from the Best Bet. Best Bet St. Augustine, Best Bet Orange Park, and Best Bet Jacksonville. Those comments from John Sumrall. Here's what's interesting. Use the word edge 3 or 4 times, okay? I have no idea if John Sumrall's any good. I learned my lesson with Billy Napier. I thought he would be good, and he was terrible, okay? I actually thought Mike Norvell was going to be good, and he's kind of terrible, you know? So we can't, I mean, so I missed on both guys. So it doesn't matter what I think. I'm always a positive guy. But I do think this. If one of the things I freaking love about Liam Cohen, and they're really good friends, is that freaking edge. You see it. I mean, there's more F-bombs in those doggone post-games thing that I love this. Well, I can tell you this. Everybody says, not everybody says, there's disbelief, there's this narrative that they just went and hired Billy Napier 2.0, right? Both group of 5 guys, one at small schools, can they handle this? Well, I do think this. I do think if there was a conflict and Billy Napier saw the conflict going on, Billy would go there and try and calmly calm it down. I think that's who he is. I think this guy would jump in the fight. I think that's who this guy is. Whether that makes him a good coach or not, we'll see. But I think that's I can't wait to hear his post games. You know, not that you have to have F-bombs to be edgy, but you know my point. I think my guess is that's who this guy is. And so we'll see if that, I mean, I can tell you the Florida people I talked to, not just Strickland. I can tell you Strickland's position on all this was if the Florida people thought Lane was a little bit of a drama queen and that concerned them, and if the Florida people had wanted this GM thing, it wasn't just Scott. It wasn't Scott pushing against his bosses. It was, I think that's where some of those higher up folks were. So as for offensive coordinator, I'm going to give you a bunch of names to listen for. Cade Bell, Kerwin's son, who did such a good job at Pitt. Neil Brown, the former West Virginia head coach, who's now an analyst with Sark and one of the best offensive minds out there. Joey Halsey, who is the Tennessee offensive coordinator. I don't love that one because I think Heupel does it, but he's the coordinator. Buster Faulkner, the really, really highly regarded coordinator at Georgia Tech. All four of those guys are being considered. I can tell you that definitively. The name I also heard Brian Daboll. I have not heard that Sumrall is considering him. I don't know where that came from, but I read it. So did you read that? I read that.
I just saw, somebody tweeted.
But I haven't heard that from people that I know.
Yeah.
But the people I can tell you is that Neil Brown, Cade Bell, Joey Halsey, Buster Faulkner have had conversations with Sumrall. That I can tell you. Man, I hope it's Cade Bell. I can also tell you that Mike Norvell has some interest in Cade Bell. I can also tell you that if Will Stein gets the Kentucky job, which I think he's going to, he's the coordinator at Oregon. I think he's getting the Kentucky job. He grew up in Kentucky. He went to Louisville, but he's a state. His parents both went to Kentucky. He's a really good coach. I think he's getting the Kentucky job. Dan Lanning has interest in Cade Bell. Now, number one, Cade's a really good coach. Number two, everyone probably thinks he's bringing that freshman. Quarterback's good. I don't know if you watched him. If he did, y'all buried him so bad. I don't know if he did much in the game.
He got knocked out, didn't he?
Oh, he did?
I thought he got hurt.
Did the freshman get knocked out?
Oh, from Pittsburgh
yeah.
you're talking about? Yeah, he came back, though. He's a great player, though. He's going to be awesome.
Well, Cade Bell personally recruited
I would love him at Miami.
Cade Bell personally recruited him. Now, I'm throwing the freshman part in there. I'm probably going to get in some kind of trouble for this. But people are recruiting, but people want Cade Bell. There's this belief Cade's bringing him with him.
That would be awesome for y'all.
I'm telling you, Sumrall's talked to Cade. Mike Norvell's talked to him. Dan Lanning's talked to him. And I'm missing a few. So I'm hoping that Cade was born in Gainesville. He's Kerwin Bell's kid. Kerwin Bell's one of the legendary players there. So I hope it's Cade, and I can tell you he's going to be in play. So is Neil Brown. So is Halsey. So is Buster Faulkner. But because I think Sumrall's smart enough to know you better have offense.
Yeah, and I mean Cade Bell would be outstanding, and that is a very good list. So yeah, I mean we'll see. Obviously, I think Sumrall's staff is going to be a great upgrade over Napier's staff. I mean Napier basically just hired his buddies, and he wanted to be his own play caller,
which is why he's fired.
Which is why he got fired.
That's exactly.
So
look, when I saw him, we got to go to break, so I'm going to do headlines. But when you see the people that showed up at this press conference, when you watched Dallas Wilson, Mekhi Barrow, Miles Graham, about 10 of them walk in the room, Jaden Baugh. Well, god dang. You can only win 4 games with that group? It's what you just said. He was a terrible coach. He had to do it his way. He had a bunch of young guys on his staff so he could be their mentor instead of having – and that's why his ass got fired. And that's – by the way, it's not breaking news, but I'm just saying, so hopefully this will be different. A lot going on there. I gave you everything I got. We'll take a break. Headlines are next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Let's take a look inside 1010XL.
Who wants the Grand Tour? That would be terrific. That would be great.
We have the drill in the morning.
Very amusing.
Jaguars today from 10 to noon.
Good.
Helmets and heels until 2.
Yes.
XL Prime Time and the Frangie Show afternoons.
This is great.
Then Baloo and Hacker take you into the night.
All in one location.
1010XL.
Hey, folks, it's Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter, Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestaProsNEFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Wingstop and 1010XL has the ultimate tailgate for you to win. Leon Serza here, your lemon pepper guy. Go to 1010XL.com to register to win a 100-piece wing party complete with fries, veggie sticks, and dips.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I've got a challenge for you. Go stand next to your window. You feel a cool draft? Well, then you need Pella. The experts at Pella Windows and Doors can easily fix that with energy-efficient windows to keep the drafty air out and save you money every month. And how does 0% interest for 60 months sound? Go to PellaJacks.com and schedule a free home energy checkup. That's PellaJacks.com, or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows and tell them you heard about Mike's challenge on 1010XL.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. My buddy Holt Harrell will take great care of you. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you get hurt, Harrell and Harrell, that is who you need to put your trust into. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars whipping up on the Tennessee Titans 25-3 to take over first place in the AFC South and are currently the 3 seed in the playoffs. This is getting pretty interesting.
A workman-like performance. You got the better team. You go in there. It doesn't matter who's at home. It doesn't matter who's the rival. The better team comes in there, takes care of business, does it in an easy way. Game's never contested. You walk out of there with a win. The Jags have found themselves. They got through a little bit of a purgatory of struggling, tough schedule, lost a few in a row, and they have really been a good football team. These guys just got there too. I mean, Baselli and Gladstone and Liam, they just got there, and look what they are. They just got to town, man. Well, I don't need to get to town, but you know my point. They just got in place with this staff. I am overwhelmingly impressed with this group. I really am.
And the path to 10-11 wins is now right there.
Well, right. Not only because of the schedule, because they're freaking good.
Yeah.
There's the good in there, too. So, and I'm very excited.
They are a tough team, no doubt about that. Let's get it to around the NFL. We'll start in the AFC South. The Colts lose to the Texans and probably won't have star cornerback Sauce Gardner for Sunday's pivotal game in Jacksonville.
I'll give you credit. You called it. JJ picked it, too. But you called that all week long. You kept saying, I think Texans are going to beat them. I'm thinking they're in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is one of the best teams. You never wavered off that one. Why did you think you were going to beat them? I mean, they did because the defense.
And I do think there was a little.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are legitimately pretty good, but I think there was some smoke and mirrors. And
because obviously I was calling the game, but
the Colts have now lost 3 out of 4.
Yeah, well, going back and watching, looking at kind of the playbook, looked like they controlled the whole game. It's not like they came from behind and made a big play at the end of the game to win.
Yeah, I didn't. Obviously, it was going on at the same time, so I didn't see a lot of the Colts. I do know the Colts felt like they got a tough whistle, so I don't know if maybe that, how much that factored in. But
the Texans also could have, which we see it all the time. We saw with Liam a couple weeks ago. They could have kicked to go up 7. Late in the game.
Right,
You've been holding the team all day. Just do it. They're not going to score a touchdown, but instead he went for it. They didn't get it.
Yeah, but
it put him in a bind at the end.
But you guys called that one.
I think the Colts are going to lose a lot more games.
I guess I know why I'm in last place now because I was convinced the Colts were going to win that game. I really was.
Let's get it to around the AFC. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert broke his left hand and will have surgery today. LA is currently the 5 seed, and the Chargers play the Eagles Monday night, a week from tonight. Jim Harbaugh not ruling Herbert out, and even Justin Herbert is saying he expects to play. But having a surgical procedure today on the non-throwing hand, boy, that would seem like, obviously, Kevin Kaplan will be able to give us his expert opinion on playing that quickly. But, boy, that seems to be a long shot that Herbert would be ready for the Eagles. And even if he is, good luck.
It almost seems desperate a little bit. And, again, God bless the Chargers. They're a team that bad things happen to, and this is one more bad thing.
No doubt about it. Week 13 wraps up tonight with the Giants traveling to the Patriots. The Jaguars had some great luck this week. The Chiefs and Ravens lost on Thanksgiving. And then obviously had the Texans beat the Colts. It looked like Denver was going to lose to Washington last night.
I know.
And that would have really helped the Jaguars. The Broncos were able to pull it out in overtime. So I don't think the Jags can catch New England because the Patriots have an even softer schedule. But root for the Giants tonight. I mean, you never know.
Yeah. I keep waiting. I'm not anymore. But I kept waiting for the bubble to burst for the Patriots because they just can't all of a sudden be this good, but they are. But I agree with you. Absolutely root for the Giants. I love where the Jags are headed in this playoff run. I love the way the schedule plays out the rest of the way. I love the fact that we're now down to 5 games left, and 2 of them are home games against the Jets and the Titans. I mean, I love where I just love where they are.
Absolutely. Lane Kiffin, as we get to college football, picks LSU. Frank, how will he fare?
Well, he's a really good coach. I will say this: he's a good coach, and he's got to prove he's got to win something because that hasn't happened yet. I will take the Florida stuff all out of it for a second. Boy, oh boy, the way he left Ole Miss, that was ugly. They drove to the airport to scream at him, and apparently he knew all along he was going, but he kept saying he was going to stay because he wanted to coach, and then he tried to almost, I don't know, leverage his bosses by saying, if you don't let me coach, I'm going to take all the coaches with me. That's a bad look. And they said, screw it, we're still not letting you coach. And then he went to the coach and said, anybody that's not on that plane doesn't get to come. It got ugly at the end. It was a very awkward, uncomfortable thing. But listen, my mind didn't change about him. He's the guy I wanted Florida to hire. I think he's a really good coach, and I think he's going to do very well. But he's got to get past some of that part of it, right? He's got to get past some of that. But no, he's a good coach. They got the guy they targeted. They let him have the run of the place, and he'll be a good coach at LSU.
Getting into Florida after athletic director Scott Strickland botched the Kiffin hire, UF pivoted to Tulane's John Sumrall. What is a fair expectation for John Sumrall?
I don't know. I after thinking Billy Napier and Michael Norvell were going to be good, and neither one of them were, I'm the last person to ask. I don't know what to expect. I know this, that he's highly thought about. You could say all this stuff about Napier 4 years ago too.
They've just regurgitated everything they've ever put out on Napier and McElwain and Muschamp.
Yeah, but
poor Danny Warfels had to endorse the last 5 coaches.
But I'll say
done
this.
nothing.
But I'll say this: I'm a diehard fan. My degree's from there. I've been rooting for him since I was 6 years old, and I'm going to hope like heck he's great.
Sure.
And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's good until he's not. And I'm going to do that. And if he gets fired in 3 years, I'm going to do that for the next coach. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. What I do. So what do I like about him? I think he's got an edge. I don't know if he's any good as a coach, Hayes. I haven't watched close enough. I really don't. But I do think he's a pissy guy, and they haven't had that. I want a guy that cusses after the game. I want a guy that isn't afraid to get in a fight. I think he's that guy. He was bold at that presser today, and I don't know. Napier was so not that. He was just so. Almost every comment, like he's afraid he would offend somebody, and I don't think this guy's that. So we'll see. As far as expectations, I don't know what to expect. I really don't.
Kentucky fires Mark Stoops. Any surprise there?
No, and I really like Mark, but it was time. It was time to fire him. He's going to get $38 million, so I think he'll be okay, no matter where.
They got smoked.
Yeah,
Yes,
he got. There's no offset language. By the way, there's no offset language in Kiffin's new deal either. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
No offset language. So he's going to get a lot of money. I think Kentucky wants to and is going to hire Will Stein, and we just talked about him. The outstanding offensive coordinator at Oregon, who's really good.
People love that guy.
And he's from Kentucky.
Okay.
He's born and raised there. He went to Louisville and played there, but both of his parents went to Kentucky. Okay. So I think he's going to be.
Yeah, I've been hearing about him for a couple years.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the Kentucky coach, and that's the right hire.
A couple other hires in the SEC. Auburn hires South Florida's Alex Golish. Arkansas hires Memphis's Ryan Silverfield, who obviously is a Bowles graduate. Did you like those hires?
I did. When I went through my whole list about a month ago, I got Franklin to Tech right. I got Silverfield to Arkansas right. And I had Kiffin to Florida and Sumrall to LSU. So flopped him.
How about that?
I did think Sumrall was going to land there. So yeah, I do. I think Golish is going to be good. Golish is going to be very much like Josh Heupel. He's got a lot of things to learn as a head coach, a defensive guy, but they're going to play fast. They'll be good offensively. I think he'll be good at Auburn. I really do.
Hey, did you hear Florida whipped Florida State 40-21 Saturday night? What'd you learn about the Gators and Knowles in that one?
Well, I'll tell you. I got to stop. We got to stop talking about Billy Napier. I probably need to. But if he'd handed the ball to Jaden Ball like we screamed about 25, 30 times a game, is he still the coach there? Maybe, right?
Better
Maybe.
chance than
And so
not.
I think I was surprised at how much more physical Florida was than Florida State. I just was shocked by it. Florida's not very good. I know they've had a couple good moments, Texas, but that was the team that beat Texas and almost beat Georgia, and I was shocked. I wasn't shocked that they won. They're both Midland teams, but I was shocked that they won with that ease against Florida State.
Let's get to college basketball. Florida split, losing to TCU before beating Providence. They face Duke tomorrow on the road. Any concerns about Florida basketball?
Well, yeah, a lot of concerns. I don't think they shoot it very well. I think Klavsar is going to be a big part of what they are because he could really shoot it. Xavier Lee shot it well against Providence. If he finally was just nervous and got out of his funk, they'll be okay. But they're 33rd in the first net. I don't know. They're better than the 33rd team in the nation, but they don't look elite to me. They look like a good, solid top 15 team right now. And it's early, but if you're my honest opinion, that's what they look like to me. I think they're going to have an awful tough time at Cameron Indoor.
Yeah, they're a 9.5-point underdog.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough one.
That's a big spread. Let's get you out with our musical note of the day. On this date, back in 1973, ELO was here in Jacksonville playing at the Coliseum. So if you attended an ELO concert around 1973, it was tonight. Hard to believe it's been that long. This is, of course, Don't Bring Me Down.
Look, I didn't know that. I was 15 at the time. But you know what? I'd have rocked it, the goddamn 15-year-old of that. What were you, 11 when you went your first one? Right? You were way ahead of me on that. Again.
I was 11.
You were like 11, okay? I was 15, but it was Chicago. There wasn't a lot of headbanging going on at that Chicago show, just so you know. Hour 2's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
A high-performance machine raises eyebrows and holds your attention.
And play big-time football on a big-time stage.
And so it is with the Performance Painting High-Performance Play of the Game.
Somebody got to make a play.
On 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, Choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet. From December 12th to the 23rd, Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine are lighting up the tables with our much-anticipated High Hands promotion, giving away over $250,000 in cash. The excitement continues to grow each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300 every hour. See all the exciting details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
For your chance to win 4-day weekend VIP passes to the Welcome to Rockville Festival in Daytona Beach, May 15th to the 18th, text the word ROCK to the 1010XL text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Advanced window tinting for your home, business, or vehicle using 3M Sun Control window film lowers cost, heat, glare, privacy, and security. 10% off if you mention this. Holiday gift cards available. Advanced window tinting, 262-9919.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Bold flavors make great gifts. Buy a $50 Flame Broiler gift card for friends, family, or coworkers and get a free bottle of the legendary magic sauce. Visit any 5 Jacksonville locations or flamebroilerusa.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Your pipes are leaking, don't get nervous. Fa la 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 la. Call Roll and Reach for same-day service. Fa la 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 la. He guarantees your satisfaction. Fa la 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 la. Call Roland and he'll spring into action. Fa la 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 la. This holiday season, if you have a leak and can't wait a week, dial 904-260-7059. And from the Roll and Reach family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Small Business Development Center at UNF. The Gators men's basketball team played 2 games over the holiday weekend, falling 84-80 against TCU, then beating Providence 90-78, where transfer guard Xavion Lee scored a season-high 20 points. Tomorrow, the Gators will take on 4th-ranked Duke at 7:30, airing on 1010 a.m. It's 62 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Got a bunch to the left. Trevor drops. Fires middle of the field. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Jacoby Myers. And Jacksonville is in the end zone and has taken the lead. Dropping the throw. Trevor look, lots of time. Now fires back, corner of the end zone, to the middle of the end zone, touchdown! Brenton Strange in the middle of the field. A 21-yard touchdown catch from Trevor Lawrence, and Jacksonville has extended the lead.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, those 2 touchdown passes yesterday. I will tell you this. Trevor starts feeling it with everything else that's going on. Eliminate the mistakes, gets into that kind of rhythm that we've seen at parts of that Arizona game, certainly the critical parts. And then yesterday, oh boy. I mean, you want to peak at the right time. Peaking's overstating it a little bit because I don't want to embellish.
No, it's a big part of
the
NFL.
But it's correct. But I don't want to just say also, hey, the Jaguars are peaking because they just beat the Tennessee Titans. But you know my point. They've won 4 or 5 now.
Yeah.
They've won 3 in a row,
and they're scoring consistently.
Because you know they can run it. You know they found a receiving core now that's going to catch it. I'm telling you, man, if Trevor gets into a rhythm here, look out. I mean that very sincerely. Look out if he gets into a rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their problems have been Trevor problems. So if Trevor can, protect the football and hit the big plays, they will be very dangerous because of that, because they can run the ball and they can stop the run. And again, that goes back to the dawn of time in football. Like it just covers so many other areas. If you can run the ball and the opponent can't, it's a huge advantage. And they've got so many great success stories. I mean, Brenton Strange coming back from the injury, a great call on the touchdown. I mean that his return has really been a big boost, and it's so exciting to see what Brenton Strange can become in this league in future years. Jacoby Myers obviously is well on his way to an extension here. I mean, how could you possibly let him out of the building? He caught every pass thrown his way for 90 yards yesterday and a touchdown. I just think when you look at it, they're also getting into a really good harmony of when it's your turn, step up. I mean, the attrition.
That is a great description of who they are.
Yeah.
That is a great thesis statement for this team. Go ahead, I interrupted you, but that's a great point.
You never want the attrition, but the way that these players have stepped into bigger roles when needed. I mean, again, I can't remember the last time I saw a team lose their long snapper in a game. Now, again, Matisic came back into the game. It was only, at halftime they must have been able to, give him something to alleviate his pain. And but for Devon Hamilton to go out there, and one of the punts where he's long snapping, again, he had not done it. He met with reporters today and said, I had not long snapped in a game since high school. And even then I was sort of like the co-long snapper. I didn't do it every game. I just did it occasionally. For him, I mean, one of those punts, it's a tight game, and you're punting from like your 3-yard line. And, and the field goals and things like that's just such a perfect symbolism of what the Jaguars have been this season under Liam Cohen. For a lot of teams, that could have turned into a debacle.
Can I? You're right. Especially he did a great job. You're dead on. He did a wonderful job. I want to go back to what you said, what you just said, and that Devon Hamilton is one case in point. But your point was when it's your turn, you have to do your job. Can I give you some names?
Sure.
To emphasize the point that you made, which was a really good one. Monteric Brown, Christian Braswell, Cole Van Lannon, Ventrell Miller, Antonio Johnson, Parker Washington, Tim Patrick. They weren't supposed to be factoring into this. I mean, I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just did 8 names. I was off the top of my head. I went 8 names. They weren't Jonah Monheim for a game. They weren't supposed to have to do this. Dennis Gardeck. This group wasn't supposed to have to say. I mean, B.J. Green, Denny Strigo.
Yeah.
I just got to 12.
Yeah.
We just ran off 12 guys who were not supposed to. Maybe Ventrell was competing with Devin Lloyd, so maybe I could scratch.
And
him
I'd put Myers in there just because he arrived at the trade deadline.
Great point. He wasn't here, but I mean, the guys I just ran off. I just said 12 names of guys they weren't supposed to factor. They're on the team, but Danny Strigo and Jonah Monheim and B.J. Green and Antonio Johnson, I know they drafted. He wasn't supposed to factor into the safety picture. He's in the safety picture because Ramsall got hurt before the season ever started. And Eric Murray got hurt. And everybody's getting hurt. And Christian Braswell, Monteric Brown wasn't supposed to be a game in and game out starter and a damn good cornerback. He breaks up a pass every game.
LaQuinn Allen's become a tone setter.
LaQuinn Allen,
a tone setter for the entire team.
Great point. Great point. So, I mean, what you just said, that's why, and give James Gladstone credit. He built this roster and Liam developed them. And I know we're sitting there like they just won the damn Super Bowl. They just beat a 1-10 team. I know that.
They've doubled their win total.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've doubled their win total.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine
they've
to
doubled
be
their win total.
gushing in praise.
They've doubled their win total with 5 games left.
Right. They might triple it.
Yeah, I mean that's what they've done in this quarterback. He's playing so well. I know his numbers aren't great, but he's tough and they respect him. How about the run yesterday?
Yeah.
How about the lower your shoulder at the dang goal line run?
Yeah.
How good was that?
Tough.
I mean, doggone right it was. So I am gushing about him. I am gushing. And listen, I live here. We've covered him the whole 31 years. I've called the games the last 12. So I'm as homer as it gets. I admit to it. I've always admitted to it. But yeah, I'm gushing about them. I love the way they handle themselves.
They've earned it.
They have earned it, and I love where their season is. I really do. That was a great win yesterday, and it was still the freaking Titans. By the way, it was Derrick Henry going 99 yards and stiff arming half of our city. Okay, it was still that. It was still 2 years ago. You can't get a quarterback sneaker. You're in the playoffs. It's still freaking Steve McNair in '99. It's the I don't want to say a cuss word. I'll get in trouble. It's the dang Titans. It's just a freaking Titans. And you know what? That win felt pretty good. Okay, I'm done. That's all. My gushing's over, okay? I'm calming down now. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It takes all cylinders working together to complete a successful drive.
We need a drive right now.
Listen for the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game.
Need a drive right now.
On 1010XL.
We gotta finish.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Business owners, listen up. If your plumbing or AC company keeps giving you the runaround, it's time to cut them loose. Call my friends at Duck Duck Rooter. They already partner with some of the biggest commercial operations in Northeast Florida, like the Jaguars and station operations. Their office team makes invoicing a breeze, and their field techs, top-notch pros. Make the switch today. Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Tell him.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
The wait is almost over. High school stars make it official and lock in their college futures during the early signing period. Follow local talent as they choose their schools. 1010XL's coverage is lit up by Flame Broiler and Baker Glass.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
This holiday season, Universal Roofing Contracting is making it easy to check roof repairs off your list. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through December 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roofing Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your car in dependable travel condition. Stop in today. They'll check the brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and AC to get you right back to your holiday plans. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Full service auto repair you can count on.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
This holiday season, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers is a classy move, no matter who it's for. Jack O'Brien here. Kuhn Flowers is the most respected name in the floral business. Find out why when you go to kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, wait a minute. This guy just said, I just got a text. Frank, the way you and Hayes just kind of dumped on our new coach on the air, I'm ashamed to be a Gator. I don't think we said anything negative about the guy. We said we don't know, right?
He might have came in. I bashed Scott Strickland.
Yeah.
Make no apologies for
I don't
that.
think.
I
have
at
no
his job. This isn't John Sumrall's
Yeah,
fault.
I have no.
I hope he's great. I honestly, I don't know enough about John Sumrall to criticize him as a coach.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, he could have walked into my house last Tuesday, and I wouldn't have known who he was.
If you want to talk about what Hayes said about Strickland's one thing, but
sure.
we have different feelings that we don't agree on that. So, but I don't think either one of us say anything negative about the coach. I don't think we.
You're allowed to if you did.
Yeah, you're right.
Who cares?
Yeah, right. No, but I'm saying I don't think we did. Is the point?
No, I don't think you did either. But
so,
I mean,
But anyway, so my point is,
he might have come in when I was bashing Strickland.
Here's what I will tell you.
And I will make no apologies.
Here's what I will tell you. You said something earlier that's right. By the way, Strickland's having his presser on ESPN.
Kiffin.
I'm sorry. Kiffin's having his presser on Sports Center. Did they not cut into the Sumrall one? The Sports Center?
They may not have.
I actually had to sign in online to my SEC Plus account.
Did we not have? We didn't have it up. We didn't have it up. Okay, so just check yourself.
Do you think that Kiffin opened his presser with a joke about Sumrall?
No. I don't even know who that is.
But I will tell you, here's the interesting thing about it. They now will be, when Napier. Here's what's funny. Napier and Brian Kelly got hired at the same time. We said they'll be measured against each other. Well, obviously Kelly's record was way better, but they both failed. If you think about it, based on what they're expecting, they both got fired about the same time, and they both failed.
If you don't win a natty at LSU, you fail.
I wonder.
Simple as.
I wonder. It will be interesting. The next year in this time of year, late October or late November, early December, to see, because I'm not convinced. Again, I'll say it again. I watched a little bit of that. When I watched Jaden Baugh and Dallas Wilson and Vernell Brown and Mekhi Barrow and all the Miles Graham and Aaron Childs walk into this presser, if the guy is any good as a coach, and I don't know if he is, if the guy can coach at all, there's some players there.
He's got to keep them.
And that's right.
Keep them.
Well, and great point.
Which he talked a lot about that today, about like, hey, the most important thing for me right now is not recruiting guys that aren't on the roster. It's retaining these dudes.
Yeah, by the way, somebody tell him to go call Jaden Baugh. Okay, how about that? Can we go call Jaden Baugh and Miles Graham? Can you go call them first? Well, can I make that? Should I make that recommendation?
Yeah, Dallas Wilson, please.
And again, it's for all the criticism that I gave Billy Napier, I will say he did a great job getting talent to Gainesville.
He did.
There is if they can keep him, and that's going to be the big key. All these guys are free agents, is every college player is now. But if they can retain 90% of this roster, then they can be competitive. If John Sumrall is good at his job, then they do have a chance. The other thing, too, is the schedule really lightens up. It's almost like I took another look at it. We don't know the order. We just know the opponents. But you can tell the league office really felt bad for what Florida has had to endure over the last 4 years, because it is – I mean, no SEC schedule is going to be littered with gimmies, obviously, but it is much easier.
I think at Texas might be really, besides the Georgia game, the only really.
Yeah, it's basically Georgia, Texas, and 7 winnable games.
Yeah. So Florida, all of a sudden, right? Well, that's the point. They might be 10-2.
And I will say the league gave LSU a brutally hard schedule next year.
Can you imagine if you're Billy Napier, running backs coach at K-State, and you look up and you see that Florida's 9-1 because they just beat UTEP and then in game 10. I don't know. You know my points. Can you imagine?
Right.
So, but they are going to be measured, both Kiffin and this whole thing. And I can tell you, I have no idea how John Sumrall will do. I will tell you, I'm connected enough to the people there that, again, they were in concert with the it's kind of funny. They all wanted Kiffin, to your point, Hayes. But I can tell you down the stretch, part of it is he wasn't returning their calls, okay? But they were pretty annoyed by there's nobody there that was crying in their beer because Lane Kiffin wasn't coming. Now, they might have been at first, and they may be dead wrong not to your point.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
So
they're in denial.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe they just. I mean, I like that. I want there to be we're going to go whip his butt edge. I never felt like Napier had that. I felt like Napier just respected Georgia, and you know what I mean.
He never got on the officials at all.
Right.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, so I get a hunch.
It felt like intramurals with Napier.
Yes, and he's a nice guy, and I get it. I'm a nice guy. I get being a nice guy, but at some point, I want you to be pissy too. You know, I'm watching some of that. I haven't. Obviously, we were on the air when the Sumrall thing came out, but I'm reading all this, and I've heard 2 or 3 people say the dude's kind of got a screw loose or two. We need a screw loose, don't we? Don't you need a guy? Isn't that what they kind of need now?
Yes.
We need a little psycho now. So it'll be.
And really now the secret sauce is going to be It's not going to be hard for Sumrall to be an upgrade over Billy Napier. In fact, he already has a better winning percentage at Florida than Billy Napier ever had. So that's an impressive accomplishment for a guy that has been on the job for 24 hours. But the real proof in the pudding will be the staff.
Yeah.
Napier's staffs were abysmal because of points you've always made. You know, you said in year 1, I want to see some gray when I look at the pictures of the assistant coaches. And there was never that.
Never.
It was always, I got to go find the young kid that I can be the mentor for. And
everyone, other than Ron Roberts, who wasn't a very good coach, but he was old.
Yeah, and
the rest of them were all like that.
And where's Ron Roberts going to be next year?
Who knows?
I mean, but my point, he'll be the linebackers coach of UTEP.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not going anywhere. So, I mean, the staff Napier compiled year in and year out was totally in over their head for being at Florida. And so I do like the fact that Sumrall, from the names you mentioned in terms of his OC hire, the fact that he's very adamant about, I don't hire my friends, I'm going to hire the best available assistants for. Well, you can't say that at your introductory press conference and then bring 9 guys from Tulane.
Right.
So I mean, obviously I think the staff has a chance. The strength and conditioning coach will be an enormous hire for John Sumrall. Again, the staff, that's where I think Florida has a chance to take a massive step forward.
We haven't even talked about Dave Caldwell, the Dave Caldwell thing. Dave Caldwell, we all know him. He lives here in town. He was forever the Jaguars GM.
He's a great guy.
Dave's a wonderful guy. Yeah. Dave and I, I'm sure Dave and I texted a bunch yesterday about it, and he's really excited, and we're going to connect, and he is a good guy. But I wonder how that all plays out. I guess, because it's Dave, we know him, but even if it was Joe Blow, we didn't know that he's now comment. Someone said he's gonna. I'm reading this on Twitter. New Florida General Manager Dave Caldwell said Florida will honor all of its 2026 recruiting class commitments. Not that he's saying that, because that's what they should do, but the fact that is this now the spokesperson for personnel? Is that where this is headed? Just like in the NFL? I guess I don't know that answer.
It'll be interesting to see how. I was curious about that too. How often Dave will actually address the media. My guess is he'll lean towards the NFL, model where the GM talks only, 2 or 3 times a year, pretty sparse.
Like after signing day.
Yeah, signing day.
But he talks about, but he has the personnel conversations.
Yeah, but I watched Sumrall on Woj, his podcast. What's his full name? The
Wojciechowski?
Yeah.
And who's now at St. Joe, but was like the dominant
St.
Bonaventure, but was the dominant NBA insider. So I watched Sumrall on his podcast, and it was all about roster building. Now, obviously, this was in the summer, and so a lot of the questions to Sumrall are built around him being at Tulane. But he was asked about his GM, and he said, I don't want to deal with that stuff. I want to coach these guys. I want to make them better men. I don't want to deal with the dollars and cents of these things. I don't want my relationship with the players to be transactional at all. So I do think that dynamic is good. And I would say this for Gators fans, because there was a lot of people that were texting me about, Dave Caldwell and obviously, his tenure with the Jaguars. What I would say is that, first off, these 2 jobs couldn't be more different. There is no draft in college football. I mean, you have at Florida, you're going to have the opportunity to sign, 7 or 8 future first, second round picks. It's a totally different dynamic.
That's correct.
And I still would think Sumrall is really going to be the one that is the final yes or no on whether they want to, offer at a player. But Dave Caldwell is a smart football guy, and he will be an asset to the University of Florida. And again, I wouldn't get confused with, because he didn't, particularly have a strong record with the Jaguars. The other part of it, too, is people grow in their professions. I mean, Dave Caldwell hasn't worked for the Jaguars since 2018?
That's correct.
I mean, that's a lifetime ago.
Yeah, and
he's had 7 years to, work in professional football and hone his craft. So it's unfair to say that the guy that Florida is getting is the guy that the Jaguars got. And again, I think, Dave Caldwell I think he will be an asset. I wouldn't get too wrapped up in, it didn't work for Dave Caldwell as the Jaguars GM, therefore he won't be very good at this for Florida. Because I still think it's probably going to be more Sumrall is the one that's sort of directing where the talent goes. But then it's Dave that's going to be, okay, well then I'll sit down with that player and we'll negotiate with his people what a comfortable salary that we're able to pay and keeping our numbers in line, because you are working under a cap.
Yeah,
you have the rev share, you have your NIL, but that is a finite number. For each school, it's going to be individual.
Different cap.
Yeah, but for Florida, you've got your rev share of 20 to 22 million, and then you've got whatever NIL dollars you devote to football. So you need somebody that can say, all right, well, if we go a little more on this middle linebacker, okay, then we might not be able to get this tight end.
Yeah.
And so that's where I think Dave Caldwell is going to be a real asset. I don't think Dave Caldwell is handing John Sumrall, here are the 85 athletes that you're going to coach.
They did ask Sumrall specifically about the Caldwell this afternoon, if you want to play that.
But let me hear it. I'd love to hear it.
It's not going to be a deal where Dave just goes out and gets players, and I hope it works out. We got good players. I'm going to be very involved. We're going to be a partnership, and we're going to be in lockstep on how we put together our roster. But I also think the head football coach, you can get pulled a lot of different directions now. My number one job, and I have the sign in my office, I have a sign up that says coach the team. My number one job is to coach the team.
Yeah,
it's funny because he referenced that on that Woj podcast. Right. I would encourage people. He tweeted it out. Woj did, and so I found it really interesting. About a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah. I'll say this: the GM is partially involved in evals. He's a talent evaluator. But to your point, he's as much a CFO as anything else, and that's managing the dollars. And I promise you that they could talk about working in lockstep all you want. John Sumrall is going to decide if a player's coming to Florida or not. Dave Caldwell, and I think Dave will tell you this, it's not Dave Caldwell's job to see a guy at Buchholz and say, hey, we're taking this running back. He may see a guy at Buchholz and say, hey, coach, I really like this guy. I know we're taking 3 running backs this year. I really like to see you consider him as one of them. But I got to believe at the end of the day, John Sumrall is going to make that decision. What he's not going to do, to your point, Hayes, is say, okay, now we'd have 3 running backs coming in. Which one gets $1 million? Which one gets 400? That's what and that's where the personnel guy can really help you, and I think he will.
Sumrall told a really interesting story as well about Mensa, the Tulane quarterback.
Yeah.
He said if we were going off of money, he's like, we didn't have a lot of money at Tulane, so we didn't have any big money players, but we did have guys making different amounts. He's like, if I went strictly off of NIL, Mensa would have been our 3rd string quarterback. Yeah. But he was our best one, so I played him. So he was like, I don't get wrapped up in, well, this guy's making, and this is an NFL thing. In the NFL, your contract stipulates your playing time. If you're making a bunch of money, you're not getting benched. Cam Robinson, Exhibit A.
Yeah, and by the way, and I think there's some of that in college too.
It's easy to say that at Tulane.
Yeah. I think
wait till you get a $6 million quarterback.
No, I think that has gone on. But to his point, he's saying he's not necessarily going to be married to that.
And that's the thing. I thought that was interesting that Mensa was not what would have been the 3rd string quarterback if he was basing it on money they were giving the athlete.
Yeah,
but he started Mensa, who obviously ended up playing well and then getting a huge deal at Duke.
For people that don't know, Darian Mensa transferred to Duke and has them in the ACC championship game. Now they're only 7-5, but still he played pretty well for them, as a matter of fact. By the way, speaking of that, we'll take a break and come back. Miami out? What are you doing? Are you in or not?
I think we're out, man.
I think you're out.
I think Notre Dame's going to get in ahead of us. And Oklahoma, which don't get me started.
It was a shame you didn't play Notre Dame this year because head-to-head would have decided
it. It would have been the perfect year to play them.
Yeah, it's a shame. So let's take a break. More in a moment. 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's more than a game.
No matter how talented you are, it still comes down to that brotherhood of playing for one another.
1010 XL. It's why we play.
Hey folks, Frank Frangie here for Lee & Kate's Glass. Now with the holidays coming, it's time to update that dated-looking bathroom setup and give yourself the gift of a gorgeous new frameless shower with big, sexy glass you spend every morning and night in that bathroom. A new shower enclosure from Lee & Kate's Glass will look fantastic and make your bathroom feel like a luxurious spa. You'll love it. You deserve it. Request the free in-home consultation. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000 and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC experts, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. Right now, you can get 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card and $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. It's a smart way to handle big vehicle needs like new tires, brakes, or repairs without the upfront cost. With no interest for 6 months, there's never been a better time to schedule. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprowski at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaprowskis are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprowski are the answer. Craig.Kaprowski at Goosehead.com.
Hey, folks, it's Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter, Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Today in the program, my friend Hayes Carline talked about his friend Scott Strickland today. That was part of our program today.
Your new buddy comedy. Coming to theaters in 2026.
So we talked a little bit about that today. We did talk about the Kiffin saga. I told the story as best I could, as what I followed along, and in conjunction with the story that was in CBS Sports today. John Talty did tell the story, and he did a really good job of that. We talked about John Sumrall, the new Florida coach. We don't know a lot about him yet. As his staff starts to play out, we'll learn a little bit more about him. We talked about mostly today about the Jaguars and who they are, and the fact that they won that game because they're a damn good football team, and that's what good football teams do. They go out and win games that they're supposed to win without fanfare. Everybody can win games with fanfare, but I'm telling you, all those years we watched the Patriots would beat the Jets 28-13, and nobody would pay any attention because that's just what you expected. The Chiefs would go beat the Raiders 31-19, and nobody even noticed. There wasn't any fanfare. It wasn't all over SportsCenter with diving catches and one-handed grabs. It's just business-like. Good teams beat bad teams, and you move on, and that's why good teams get to double-digit wins, and that's what I think the Jags are. So we certainly talked about that. We talked about the hiring and the new coaches, all coming on the program today. I do want to remind you tomorrow, by the way, we'll be at Firehouse Subs out in Julington Creek, so come see us if you're out that way. We didn't talk about Florida FSU, the game, very much. It was an interesting game. I don't know what to think of it. Either neither one were any good, but I will say it did show, and FSU had some moments too in the game, but it did show that there are some, if nobody leaves, there's some personnel there to work with for now John Sumrall. I mean, I did take that away from that. Not just Jaden Baugh, who heads that list.
Without a doubt. Look, I mean, Florida's core was able to beat Texas in the Swamp. They were able to hammer FSU. I mean, it was a very disappointing season, but the athleticism never looked out of whack like it did with Mullen. Like in Mullen's you could tell the recruiting failures. They were starting to show up on Saturday, and you were like, these athletes don't belong at Florida. Like, why does Florida's defense look like 11 tweeners out there? Because that's what Mullen recruited to, because he couldn't get big-time blue-chip, legit defensive guys. And I think what you've seen with Florida this season, athletically, Florida is Florida. I mean, obviously, you could always do better, but from a talent standpoint, Florida has talent, and it is still a very young roster. I mean, other than the offensive line, and I guess you'll lose some key defensive linemen, but in terms of the linebackers, the secondary, the running back, the receiver room, certainly the quarterback room, those are all still very young rooms. So the athleticism component is there if Sumrall and Caldwell can prevent a total raid. And that's what they've got to watch out for. Is if you look up and 25 kids have entered the portal and gone elsewhere, well, then they're going to be really in a bad spot. But Florida, from a talent standpoint, I think can be an upper echelon SEC team next year from a talent standpoint. Then you just obviously we just aren't going to know if Sumrall and his staff can get the most out of them until we get into October.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll wrap the program. Do want to remind you, Clockwork Cash Out, table game cash giveaways are back this Saturday and Sunday at all of those Best Bet locations. It's always a Best Bet Monday around here, as you know. That's from 6 to midnight, $500 cash giveaways every 30 minutes. Back to wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Heisman Trophy race in college football, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, who guided the Hoosiers to a perfect 12-0 record, is plus 115 to take home college football's highest honor. Julian Sayin of Ohio State, also unbeaten at 12-0. He's at plus 155. Diego Pavia, who is the quarterback at Vanderbilt, is plus 340 to win the award. Outside of the top three, Jeremiah Love, running back at Notre Dame, plus 2,200 to win the Heisman Trophy. College football national championship odds, Ohio State plus 155, Indiana plus 460, Georgia plus 750.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
The holidays are just around the corner, and so is your entire family.
Babe, the toilet's growling at me again.
Uh-oh, the kitchen sink just turned into Old Faithful. There's no hot water!
Don't let plumbing chaos steal your holiday cheer. Call Duck Duck Rooter today to fix those issues before Aunt Linda blames you for ruining Christmas dinner. Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing pros. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you're looking for jewelry this holiday season, we have what you want at Underwoods, and we carry the hottest and best names you'll find anywhere in North Florida. The biggest name in designer jewelry is David Yurman, and his looks are more popular today than they were years ago when Underwoods introduced this designer to Jacksonville. And we carry David Yurman not just in ladies' jewelry, but also in timepieces in his extensive collection of men's jewelry. If it's a watch you're looking for, we carry Rolex and other watches considered to be the best in their price points. We also carry extensive collections of the jewelry we import directly from Italy and Spain that are always popular for their quality, style, and value. So if you want the hottest and most popular jewelry and want to be waited on by the most professional jewelry staff in the business, stop by Underwoods.
Underwoods, where customers are served with quality and respect. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra. Underwood Jewelers.
Yo, you already know it's your main man E.T. And no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything. From tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails. Served over ice balls, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Rounded out with adventurous drink menus, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Check them out now on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks, eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Running a small business is tough, so the Florida Small Business Development Center at UNF provides a free business checkup, a personalized analysis that helps you boost profits, your online presence, and increase your company's value. No cost, no strings attached. It's guidance from experts who understand what it takes to succeed in business. Whether you're just starting out or ready to expand, it's time to act. Complete a request for consulting at unf.edu/SBDC.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, one last time. Weekend winnings at all Best Bet locations Friday and Saturday, noon to midnight. $500 for the first 30 minutes, $1,000 for the second 30 minutes. Every hour. Give me some food. Give away some food. I'm in such a good mood today. Give me some. Give me a trip.
Absolutely. You get a trip, you get a fantastic experience, and you get a great meal. Our friends at the farm at Okefenokee are having another wonderful dinner next Saturday night. That is December 13th. And we're giving away 2 tickets right now for you to attend that dinner. The farm at Okefenokee is about an hour north of here in Folkston. You'll have a great time. It's an amazing property. They're building out these fantastic cabins. It's a regenerative farm. And this is their last event of the year, and it is sold out. So unfortunately, you can't buy tickets for it. They're going to announce their 2026 dinner soon. But in the meantime, if you call 641-1010, we'll take caller number 3 right now. 3 for the number of championships John Sumrall will win at the University of Florida.
He's coming around already. Hey, before you go, JJ, I'm going to change you up a little bit. I said a couple earlier cuts. I'm going to go all the way down to 16 on your play sheet there. A lot of the people thought, great, another group of 5 coach from Louisiana. This is Billy Napier 2.0. John Sumrall was asked about people that don't want another G5 coach.
Yeah, no two people are the same, okay? And Coach Meyer, you coached G5 football, I think, right? Yeah, Kurt Signetti coached G5, I think. I actually coached against Kurt some. No two people are the same. You know, just because you're a reporter, I may have had an interaction with another reporter and not liked it, doesn't mean I'm going to judge you that way. Judge me for who I am. I'm a winner. We're going to win. And just give me a shot. Believe in me. Here's the deal. I need everybody pulling the rope the same direction. Because if anybody's pulling the other direction, it don't make the job easier. It makes it harder. If we're all Gators, we all want to win, let's do this together. You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. Let's go together.
He's got a little edge to him.
Yeah, you're smitten, I can tell.
Well, here's the thing.
That was a great answer.
You know what I am a little bit, because you know what I would take him? In a bar fight.
Yeah.
Would you take him in a bar fight?
Yeah, he's a former college linebacker.
But I mean, he sounds like it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I know former college linebackers that don't sound like it.
Yeah.
This guy's in a bar fight.
Hey, there's a great video of him as the Kentucky linebackers coach. I'm sure you saw it. It was floating around social media all weekend about him basically screaming to his guys, "If you need juice, come see me."
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So again, hopefully he can score more than 17 points in a ball game.
Hopefully
that OC hire is so freaking important.
It really is. And again,
oh my God.
And let me tell you again, the names I've heard that will be in consideration: Cade Bell, Kerwin's kid, who did such a good job.
That'd be an
Pitt.
A+ hire.
Yeah. Well, and really, if he brings his quarterback, it really would be. Neil Brown, the former West Virginia coach, who's now an analyst at the Texas, very respected coach. And
be a great hire.
Certainly, it would be. Joey Halsey is at Tennessee. He's their coordinator, but I think Heupel does it. Buster Faulkner, the guy that Georgia Tech. Now he had Haynes King. And they didn't throw it very much, but he's certainly a well-respected guy. His guy at Tulane's named Joe Craddock. I hope it's not him.
I almost think he eliminated him today.
I hope he did. I'm not knocking Joe Craddock, but he's never done it. He's been at Troy and here. I think you got to go get a big boy. And
I think Sumrall said that the way we run offense at Tulane is not the way we're going to run it at Florida.
Good. Did he say good? Because and again, Brian Daboll, I haven't heard the names I heard that told you. I've heard of guys that have already talked to Sumrall. I can tell you that. I haven't heard that Daboll has, but I read the connection, maybe because of Caldwell or someone on the line that some people think he might be in play. I had not heard that. I just read it somewhere.
I would think Daboll stays in the NFL. I would think, he could get a coordinator job in the NFL, or it certainly would have a good chance to do that. So I'd be surprised. I know Daboll's obviously worked in college before. I get that, but it's a different world. I would think that Daboll would hope that he's going to stay in the NFL as an OC.
Yeah. So we'll see what winds up happening. So, but what a weekend! All the college games played out. It was a great college football weekend. We don't completely know who's in the playoff yet, but it leads up to. I almost wondered if have we gotten to where the conference championship games are almost obsolete?
Yeah.
You mean the team in the ACC who hasn't played the number 2, 3, 4, or 5th best conference teams?
Well,
you think that's a fake conference title game?
They got 37 teams.
Yeah.
That's part of it too. So let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Ballou, the John Sumrall era is starting. Don't act like you're not scared. Don't act like you're not fearful.
Let me tell you about John Sumrall, okay? If he was coming to Tallahassee, here's what I'd do. Leave right now, not do my show, drive to Bourbon Street, hit every bar on Bourbon Street, sleep it off, and then drive him and drop him off to God's country. Come back here and find a way to tell Griffin why I had a 4 or 5 day sabbatical and whether or not he'd buy it.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. All right.
I mean, the clown we got over there in Tallahassee, are you kidding me? And by the way, can I just say this?
Yes.
Enough of this, well, Mike's a good guy.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's not a good guy.
Yeah,
he held Florida State hostage for 36 hours on a fake story that Alabama wanted him.
Yeah.
He held them hostage to get this contract. So for everyone saying that Mike Norvell's a good guy, he's not.
Yeah, I will say this, joking aside, we talked about it. I thought, thinking about it over and over, $58 million or $53 million or not, I really am surprised they didn't fire him. Given I know how much money it is, but it's gone so badly. I'm serious, Rick. I'm surprised. I know you are, but I am too. I'm surprised they didn't.
I just won't allow anymore that he's a good guy.
Yeah,
he's not a good guy.
Right,
he's a bad guy.
Give me 30 seconds on the Jaguar.
And he's a bad coach.
Yes, he is. Give me 30 seconds on the Jaguar win.
Thrilled.
I was very thrilled with it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, their bounce back. I mean, it was a pretty good opening drive for Tennessee. And I asked Liam Cohen about this yesterday after the game. 39 yards rushing. They made some adjustments, but the way that they respond, they get the ball to Parker on that great driving grab, a 50-yarder to Myers, then a touchdown to Myers, and then they just flat out took over and dominated every asset of the game. So, when I asked Trevor Lawrence this, if you really think about it, they should be undefeated on the road. Mm-hmm. They got robbed by a bad call in Cincinnati, and they blew a 19-point lead in Houston. This team should be undefeated on the road.
Yeah, we said it. They're an eyelash from 10-2.
No doubt.
They're an eyelash from 8-10. Yeah. All right, what's
all that coming up?
All right, all coming up tonight. All right, Rick Ballou is going to talk college football and Jaguars as he goes into the night right now. We are out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember now, tomorrow live from Firehouse Subs in Julington Creek. Come see us. We'd love to say hello tomorrow. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.